I would really like to ask you a question. Have you ever had a killjoy in your joy? A virus Sahasrabuddhe who made physics unbearable for you? Or someone, a villain, an enemy to your creative joy and creative life? I've had many of them, but one of my earliest was this substitute art teacher called Sanju Nanda. She literally tore my drawing. Like, you heard it right, she tore my drawing. It was 1989. I was 9 years of age in class 4, and Sanju Nanda had stepped in to be a substitute art teacher for our usual art teacher. Sanju Nanda was pretty and young. She had these bouffant permed hair, very much in style. She had skin like porcelain, and she smelled of Charlie perfume. I was so enamored by her. She walked in and she told the class that we had to make a basket full of flowers. I was so excited to do the assignment, and enthusiastically I spent all of my lunch break looking at flowers around the playground. I went home, I looked, in the garden and drew all these beautiful flowers into the basket on the drawing sheet using crayons, color pencils and sketch pens. The next art class, I was so excited and I went to show her my beautiful drawing. She looked at it and she shouted at me, "I told you to draw with crayons only. Why did you use color pencils?" And she tore the painting, the drawing into bits in front of the entire class. But this is not a story about Sanju Nanda. This is a story about little Shweta, my inner artist. Cut to 30 years later, 2019. That's me, finally off the corporate ladder, a struggling writer, lonely, writing intermittently, creative in bits, dabbling in this and that, a neurotic mom troubling her mother, and traumatized since class 4 about drawing and painting. And then, to be useful, I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up for this online writing course and get an MFA. And as a part of that, there was a 12-week long course that I could take. And I thought that, oh, this is easy, this would be a nice way to collect some easy credits. So I signed up for The Artist's Way and bought this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Now, this book is actually not really a book, but a workbook. The protagonist is you who's reading and doing the book. And it's structured into 12 weeks. Each week is a different stepping stone. It comes one after the other. It has some readings. These readings consist of Julia Cameron's own life, anecdotes from her life. She is a writer, a screenwriter, a movie director, a Hollywood insider, and her clients whom she's helping with creativity, and lots of very interesting quotes from poets and artists and spiritual gurus. And then there are some exercises at the end of each chapter which kind of delve into your own inner villains, your joys, your true north, what you want to do, your champions, things like 10 things you'd like to do right now, or write a letter to your future self, write a letter from the 8-year-old you. And I thought, well, it's going to be easy breezy, very cute, 12 credits done. Boy, was I mistaken. So Julia Cameron talks also about 2 basic tools. The morning pages, which is like you get up in the morning and you just, before even brushing, just sit and write 3 pages of longhand in the morning. This is about sending out, sending out your hope, dreams, and your apprehensions. And then every week, you take yourself out on a 2 to 3 hour long date with your own self. The trick is that it has to be with you and you alone. And this is about filling in, receiving the insight, the inspiration and guidance. Like I said, it's a journey from safety to faith. As I started walking down this path, and if you were to read this, it would be your path and your journey. I learned a lot about myself. The first thing that I learned, and this comes only when your guide and your teacher, in my case, Julia through her book, could be a safe space, was that all emotions were welcome and all emotions are welcome. I understood that it wasn't crazy to be angry about someone tearing up your drawing. It was okay. Anger is not a very nice friend, not a very sweet friend, but a very good and loyal friend that protects me. I learned that, all the envy, the green-eyed monster that I feel about, writers writing so much and getting published was actually admiration in disguise. I wanted to be like them. I wanted, that audacity, that tenacity, that discipline. I understood that fear was just me being a little hesitant. Maybe I was afraid of failing. Maybe I was afraid of being wrong. Maybe I was afraid of feeling like a fool. Or maybe I was just afraid of success. And as I got to know myself and my dreams more, I knew that if the story had to take off, I had to have some action. Now that action seemed very daunting because, as you can see, there's a whole mountain to be climbed. And that daunting task to write that script, to write that book can feel overwhelming. And so the exercises helped me to go about it with tiny little changes. What I could do again and again and again. I also learned that I did not have to be perfect all the time. The grammar did not have to be impeccable. The paint could get smudged. It was all okay. It opened me out to possibilities. I learned that there is joy. There's joy in doing silly things like howling with my daughter or splattering paint all over. And so I came back, that little Shweta came back to looking at flowers and drawing flowers and admiring them and delighting in them. As I walked in a garden a few days ago, I looked at this heap of leaves, fallen leaves, litter fall, and red silk cotton plants. And I understood that the capacity for delight is the gift of paying attention. And that is key to leading a rich, creative life. Me in 2025, still a struggling writer, dog mom, hopefully a less neurotic mom, learning how to tango and drawing, collecting and painting flowers since 2021. Thank you so much.